smell of napalm in the morning.
Hey, so it's your boy Francis Ford Coppola, one of the greatest directors of all time. Born in 1939, Coppola struggled to find directorial success until 1968 with Finian's Rainbow. He then went on to have an overall successful yet spotty career as he felt stifled by the shift in Hollywood's focus from film as art to film as a business. In his films, Francis Ford Coppola often highlights the downfall of protagonists using lighting, setting, and visual motif to convey the idea that no matter how good a person is, they are ultimately shaped into a product of their environment. The three films I will be using to demonstrate this are Apocalypse Now, The Outsiders, and of course, The Godfather. Okay, so first we're going to focus on Apocalypse Now, which is a story about Captain Willard's journey into Cambodia as he's sent to kill a rogue Colonel Walter E. Kurtz during the Vietnam War. In these first few clips, we can see both Willard and his friend Lance's descent into madness as they search for Kurtz.
I remember when I was with Special Forces.
Come on! Yeah, all right.
In these scenes, Coppola is using a recurring and very tormented-looking kind of dance to show the internal struggle of these protagonists as they go absolutely crazy. Sorry for leaving you on this frame. In this next clip, Willard has found Kurtz, but begins to identify with him in captivity and struggles to achieve his mission of ultimately killing Kurtz.
If the generals back in the Trang could see what I saw, would they still want me to kill him? I'd never seen a man so broken up and ripped apart.
I've seen horrors that you've seen. But you have no right to call me a murderer. You have a right to kill me. You have a right to do that. But you have no right to judge me. It's impossible for words to describe what is necessary to those who do not know what horror means.
Okay, so here Coppola has cast a very similar light across the faces of Kurtz and Willard, showing us, the audience, that they are not so different, especially now that Willard has experienced similar horrors to those that Kurtz describes in his monologue. Moving on, I'm going to now examine The Outsiders, a film about two lower-class greasers who must go on the run after they kill an upper-class Soc in self-defense. In this first scene, Ponyboy Curtis and his friend Johnny finally arrive at their hideout, which happens to be a church.
Check it out, man.
Coppola uses the setting of a dilapidated church to reflect the downfall of the two protagonists, who were once pure and innocent. Next up, we have a scene depicting Ponyboy and Johnny as they walk away from a sunset. Coppola contrasts this beautiful sunset with a panning shot of the filth and cigarettes inside the church to illustrate that Ponyboy and Johnny are now tainted after the murder. Finally, for The Godfather of all movies, a timeless gangster classic that details the rise of Michael Corleone as the most feared man in New York. Michael, however, initially is uninterested in participating in his family's crimes. Shortly after detailing a gruesome murder to his girlfriend, he says this.
That's my family, Kay. It's not me.
Michael verbally distances himself from crime here, while also wearing a military uniform with his hair parted to the side. To the audience, Michael looks like a morally sound individual from an unfortunate family. Next, I want to compare two different scenes that take place inside the Corleone home office. The first depicts Michael's father Vito doing business in the beginning of the movie, and the second depicts Michael at the end of the movie as Kay questions him about his involvement in the murder of his brother-in-law.
But now you come to me and you say, Don Corleone, give me justice. But you don't ask with respect.
Michael, is it true?
Don't ask me about my business, Kate.
Is it true?
Don't ask me about my business.
No.
In the first scene, Vito wears a suit as he strokes a cat, but is surrounded by darkness, revealing to the audience that a thin facade covers his illicit business. In the second scene, Michael stands before Kay in defiance of what he has become. Hair now slicked back and surrounded by the same abyssal walls, he is now the spitting image of his father and has completed his moral descent into the criminal underworld. So, if you haven't picked up on my shtick yet, Coppola has a habit of tearing down morally sound and innocent characters to emphasize that no matter how good a person is, they can be easily corrupted by the characters and circumstances that surround them. Big thanks to the OG MS Paint on this video essay. Couldn't have done it without you, buddy. Okay, hope you all enjoyed. Go watch some Francis Ford Coppola movies, especially this one, The Redux of Apocalypse Now. It's longer than the original, but I'd say it's better, so go watch that. Okay, hope you enjoyed.